Do you want to choose your own movie plot points in real time? Have you heard Madonna's new song? Do you think bartenders should be responsible for your drinking? Have you ever stolen a Lego set from Target? Do you have one of the 1,000 most popular first names in America? Do you want to come to our Sissy Boy slap party? All that. Plus, we're going to talk about John Waters, Martha Stewart, Ariana Grande, Sabrina Carpenter, and your mother's fat ass. Oh no, not that part. And we're going to talk about Earth Day this week on The Swish Hit. Robbie and I are back for another week. It's April 22nd, and you know what that means? Robbie, did you know what today is?
Third rock from the Sunday?
Yeah, no. Well, besides being hump day, it's Earth Day. It's the day that we're supposed to go outside and hug a tree, right?
I already did that.
I had no idea until I was doing a little research about this. I didn't know that Earth Day's been around since 1970, which is how old I am. Earth Day and I have the same birth year.
Well, that's easy to remember in case that comes up in trivia.
Exactly, or on Jeopardy. Apparently, U.S. Senator Gaylord Nelson created it to raise awareness about environmental issues after the massive 1969 Santa Barbara oil spill. So
I didn't even know about that oil spill.
Me either, because it happened way before we were born.
I know about the Exxon Valdez oil spill.
I remember that one for sure. Anyway, I don't know where they get this number, but an estimated 1 billion people in 192 countries participate annually in some kind of Earth Day festivities.
So 8 billion people just don't care about the planet, clearly.
Right, exactly. I find it very hard to believe that 1 billion people are celebrating the Earth today. I don't think they are.
Honestly, we shouldn't have to work today. It should be a federal holiday.
Right, exactly.
I can go plant a tree in the honor of Earth Day.
Well, I know you work. Your company probably follows federal work holidays, right?
So not really. We kind of go rogue. No. Yeah.
So you don't get them all off automatically.
No.
Well, that sucks. Anyway, well, that's all I have. So go out there and hug your tree today. Plant a tree, exactly.
Or at least maybe a pollinator garden. Let's start small.
There's a lot of pollen out in my yard. Let me tell you. Every time I go out, it's too much for me. So I'm going to just stay inside.
Perfect. Speaking of staying inside, did you know that today is John Waters' birthday?
I guess I did know that.
And you can spend your time indoors watching all of his fabulous movies that I love. Like my favorite John Waters movie is Serial Mom.
Yes.
But he also started with Pink Flamingos. That was like his big breakthrough. Polyester. And another one I love, Crybaby. I like his more mainstream stuff like Serial Mom, Crybaby, and Hairspray. Did you see the remake with John Travolta? I saw it. Yeah, I saw it in the theater when it came out. Yeah.
I think the original is much better, but
I mean, I really like the original. Some of the songs in the remake are very good.
Yeah.
And they were nice to play at show tunes when I was the VJ there at JR's. So yeah, some of the songs are great. It's just, I think organically, the original is just way better.
Of course. Most originals are better, I think.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing that this man is 80 years old. I'm going to put a picture up on the screen of him, what he looks like now and some of his classic movies. But man, and he's touring this whole summer, doing events all over the country. He stays busy. He never slows down.
I saw him at a concert once. He was in DC at the Howard Theater. That was fun. He was talking about like new, current events and just like shooting the shit with us for like 2 hours. But it was like a whole like thing. But, it was nice he sort of talked about some abandoned projects that were in the works, sort of like, my friend Michael Miller, I'm sure I could ask him and get refreshed on that. I think it was called like Little Fruitcake or something.
And
then Aubrey Plaza was supposed to be in one with him, but he couldn't get the financing. Can you imagine you're John Waters and you can't get the financing for a freaking movie? Isn't there some billionaire out there that just loan him like $100,000 or $2 million maybe to like make a film? Anyway, but like some of the good things that has happened to John Waters, he did get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame a couple of years ago, which is kind of big. I wonder if people put dog shit on his star.
No.
I mean, that's a Flamingos reference. That's not disrespect to John Waters.
Right, exactly.
And he's also going to appear in the 13th season of American Horror Story.
Wow.
The one that
I
we
didn't know
talked about
that.
a couple of episodes ago, that Jessica Lange is back and Kathy Bates. I'm dead curious to know what he's going to be doing in that. But
Yeah.
I
would
see him as like a
suspect it's small
modern
thing.
day. He looks like Vincent Price to me sometimes with that. You
He
know, he
does.
could totally do like, I'm, you know, a horror director or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see.
But the funniest thing that has come out of the news with John Waters lately is he said that he would love to host the Oscars. And if he did, he would bring out Chris Rock and Will Smith as presenters and play clips of something called Sissy Boy Slap Party as they walked in. Now, if you're not familiar with what Sissy Boy Slap Party is, as I was not myself, go look it up on YouTube. It is something to see. I can't really say what the hell I saw, but it's an experimental short film. It's like 4 minutes long. It came out of Canada in 2004. And it's just like, it looks like a silent film. It's like set in that style. And it's just a bunch of sailors on a deserted or shipwrecked island or something. And they all just start slapping the shit out of each other.
It's very bizarre. So Robbie,
look it up on YouTube.
Robbie sent me the clip on Monday and I was like, what did I just watch?
So leave it up to John Waters to enlighten me in something like, you know, in the craziness of movie cinema, something like this.
that.
So I'm glad that I saw it. It's funny. I feel
That's
like you could play
cool.
it in the background at a party.
You could probably, put it together with a whole bunch of other clips and then just have it like running. Yeah.
Because when I read that blurb, I said, that's funny. That's funny. Oh, hosting the Oscars, great. Will Smith, Chris Rock, funny.
It's a great
Sissy
idea.
Boy Slap Party. And then I was like, what is that? So yes, I did have to look that up. But
that is really fun. Well,
it's worth watching.
I have a prop. You know, I collect Pump Funkos and I have a...
Oh my God, he's holding a flamingo.
And he's holding a flamingo, my John Waters Funko. And there he is on the back.
I just love him so much.
Yeah, this is fun. And while we're doing that, if I could I would just show you that we also have custom Scott and Dale.
Where on earth did you get those? How do you get those made?
From them. You go right to their website and you can make.
You send them a picture?
No.
What?
Yeah, you just construct it. That you do the hair, you do the eyes, you do the clothes, you do the props. Yeah, the color of the hair, you can pick it all. And then I had to show you this because you saw my post on Facebook earlier this week. I've got my Robin Hood.
Yes, the sexiest fox who ever lived.
Cute as that.
From Robin Hood.
So I had to show you all my Popcos. Those are just 4 of them. I have
I mean, instead of getting one of me, I would probably like make one for like some obscure actress that I love that like would never get a Funko.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
like
that would be...
I want a Rebecca De Mornay Funko.
I think you're allowed to do... I don't know if you're allowed to do that, but I think they're supposed to be for personally. I don't know.
Well, and so going back to that John Waters Funko, didn't you meet John Waters in the wild?
I didn't meet him, but I saw him in the wild.
Well, that counts. That counts.
Yeah, I was in London and I was going to the Landsborough Hotel because I know it was one of Madonna's favorite hotels and I wanted to go have a drink at the bar. We were not staying in that hotel because it was way, way, way expensive. But as we're walking in, there was John Waters just standing in front of the hotel, and I guess he was waiting for a taxi or a car or something. And
he also wanted to have a drink at the hotel that Madonna goes to.
Yeah, but he was leaving. I know, he probably did. And then I just said, "Hi, John," and he said hello.
He said hello back,
and that's it. I never stopped moving.
Technically, you met him. See, you conversed with each other.
Yeah, but he doesn't know my name.
Wow.
Anyway, that's my John Waters story. Yeah.
Well, and speaking of Madonna with that hotel,
I'm sorry, there's no Madonna news to talk about.
This weekend has been insane for anyone who is remotely interested in Madonna, let alone a big fan. Anyone really into pop culture, this has been a crazy weekend. It all started on Friday. Scott and I were messaging each other on Friday, waiting for the big release of Madonna's new song called I Feel So Free. And it was actually released via iHeartRadio on the Pride radio station. They're playing it on the hour every hour.
All
So
day.
of course I'm logging in every hour to listen to it because that's the only way I could listen to it. It's not an official single. It's like a promo release. It's apparently the first track of the album. I I told Scott I wasn't going to talk about it until we got on the show. I really do like it. It's very hypnotic and it's not like an annoying pop ditty. You know what I mean? It's like really, it's got a vibe. And she gets really candid in the song. And she like has these little sort of like interludes where she's talking about how she feels about life, basically, and what the dance floor makes her comfortable,
Yeah.
which a lot of people can relate, especially people who used to dance on the dance floor like me. I don't really do it much anymore. But no, I love the song. I feel so free. I'm curious to see what the official single is going to be. So the other thing is that, well, the next day, the I Feel So Free eventually did get released on platforms all over, and it went to #1 on iTunes in 34 countries, which is great for anyone, let alone an artist who's been in the business this long and is, uh, reaching 70 for being a popular artist. That's kind of unheard of almost. I mean, other artists her age can't get that, I don't think.
Well, why do we have to wait until July 3rd for the album?
Yes, the album, which is called Confessions 2, which I'm really not that excited about that title. I just thought that was a place marker for what it was really going to be called. I was hoping it'd be a little bit more creative, like Revelations on a Dance Floor, which sounds great, but Confessions 2 is what we're given, which maybe I'll learn to love it. It's fine. I'd rather have Revelations on a Dance Floor, but we also got the cover art, which everyone is always dying to know what her cover art is going to be because she's so, big into the image and the look, and it's going to cause a whole new era. And so now the cover is her with like this pastel purple, like, what is that? Like a shawl or something draped over her while she's like on top of a speaker. Now you have all kinds of gays like recreating that look with them. Like,
I
but
mean, like, instantly people started copying it. It was crazy.
yeah, like I think the cover art, I'm getting used to it. I didn't love it right away. I still don't love the title, but the music the music always speaks for itself when it comes to Madonna. A lot of people can dismiss her for whatever, but her music really, really is the glue of her whole career. I don't care if people say anything else, like, oh, it's her image or she knows how to manipulate the public. No, go back to all the songs, go back through her discography. She has solid songs. And I'm sure that all the songs on this new album are going to be great. Then, so Friday was the release
Wait,
of all that info.
are you not gonna ask me?
Well, okay, I'll ask you before we get to the Sabrina Carpenter.
I think we
Okay.
should. What are you gonna ask me?
What did you think of the new song, and what did you think of the artwork?
I love the artwork, and I've loved all the pictures that she's released since she announced that this was gonna happen. I think it looks great. I didn't love the song, but I don't wanna shit on your parade because I know that you love everything Madonna, so
That is
I
not
just
true. I don't love everything that she does. I
and I
have a
but
whole list of things that I don't like about her.
But listen, I listen to her all the time. I have the top 50, the 50 hits record that I listen to all the time. And I love a lot of what she does. I just don't love everything. And this song did not speak to me, but that doesn't mean it won't grow on me.
I think this has the potential to grow on you. It really does.
I don't like spoken word in my songs. I just don't I don't like that part, and I don't know why she has to do it all the time.
I kind of like that in this song.
You
I
did, okay.
do.
Alright.
But I think this one song is better than anything that was on Madam X.
Well, yeah, don't get me
I mean,
started about
Madam
that.
X was very artistic and daring, but I'm not going to get
Yeah,
into that. But I'm not saying
right.
that was a bad record, but this one song is better than anything on that album, is what I feel about it.
Alright, I'll give you
But
that.
I can't wait to see what else happens. We did get a surprise on Saturday. No, it
But
was
yeah,
Friday night. It was Friday night.
talk about that.
Sabrina Carpenter was doing her set at Coachella the second weekend, and she, in her song called Juno, she always brings a celebrity on stage at a certain part in the song. It's usually some Bobo celebrity. This time, she brought up Madonna, and there was rumors for, I don't know, was it weeks, that Madonna was going to make a surprise appearance at Coachella, marking her 20 years since she first appeared at Coachella in 2006, incidentally to promote Confessions on a Dance Floor, which is the era that she's making a sequel of. And they sang Vogue together, Like a Prayer, and a brand new song that they're duetting called Bring Your Love. Now, what did you think of Bring Your Love, Scott? Did you like that better than I Feel So Free, or do you even remember it?
No, well, you see on our outline that I didn't know that. I thought she sang. I couldn't find that. Where did you find that? I looked everywhere to try to figure out where that was.
Well, I watched it and I saw that, because that was the first time I had heard this song. It's brand new. It's on the new album, but a track
It's
list
on
has
what
not
new
really
album?
been Confessions 2.
Oh, so it's okay, got it. So they
So like,
did confirm that it was on the new album?
yes,
So
yes.
there's 2 songs now that are out.
Right. Except for I don't think you can like officially listen to Bring Your Love on anything. That was just like how it got released. So I don't know if that's going to be the first single to be released as a duet with Sabrina Carpenter. Remember a couple episodes ago, I said I don't think she's going to be collaborating with anyone, but I was
Right.
wrong.
Okay.
But I am 100%, well, I'm never 100%, but 99% that Britney is not on this album.
Yeah.
I did hear a rumor that like she might be on like the last track or something, like doing something spoken word. I know how much you like that, but something like that, but definitely not singing or doing a duet. But so much. I mean, all the gays' heads were exploding this weekend. It's still happening. Memes everywhere online. If you don't like Madonna, this was not your weekend.
Well, so I obviously didn't see the whole thing, or I didn't seek it out. I saw bits and pieces, and I of course saw when she came up out of the stage for Vogue, and that was pretty cool.
When they look so cute together, they just look happy and they were having a great time. Madonna was wearing the same boots and jacket and corset that she wore 20 years ago. I can't fit into anything that I wore 20 years ago,
At
but
Coachella.
right
Yeah.
at Coachella at the performance that she did. But it was announced that someone stole those items from, I guess, the dressing room or their trailer or something. Those vintage items are now missing. Madonna has released a press release asking for them to be returned. She is going to give a reward. She put an email out. I've already heard of a couple of fans that I saw online. They're just going to email that email for any reason, not
That's
because
not
they have to close. They just want to like, and I knew that was going to happen,
it's
but
not
I mean, I'm not
helpful,
going to
right?
do that. But
No.
so she really wants these items back.
Yeah. Well, it would be pointless to email that email because Madonna's not reading those emails. So
No,
an
she's
assistant
not.
of some sort is going to be reading those emails.
Her manager is Guy Osseri. He's probably
Yeah.
not even reading them. Incidentally, Guy Osseri just announced also that he doesn't think that Madonna is going to tour for this album. But then
Yeah.
he backtracked a little bit and said, "That's not what I meant. I just meant like we're not confirmed or something." But
I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't. It takes a lot to do a tour, especially the way she does it. And she's probably just friggin' tired, you know?
yeah, I mean that performance at Coachella, if that's a taste of what we could get with this era, I'm all about it.
Well, so I'm sure you're gonna have more opportunity to talk about Madonna in the next several months.
Yeah, because I mean, we could later on. Well, if this ever happens, Screen Rant says that Netflix has something developing about her life story that would start probably at the beginning of her adolescence in Michigan, where she grew up. And it says all the way through Ray of Light.
That's what Screen Rant said. Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't know if Julia Gardner is attached to this or not, but I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I like that. I like it that it's gonna be longer than a movie. A limited series is a great way to get it all in there, right? Because it would be tough to get the whole story done in 2 hours.
Yes, it would.
Yeah,
Unless you just focused on before she was famous, just
exactly.
focused on her
The
moving to New
early
York
yeah,
and then the breakthrough of her first album. Like
yeah,
you could do that in 2 hours.
yeah, that would be cool. And I think that's similar to what they're doing with the new Michael biopic that's coming out, which you and I are both going to see later this week. It opens Friday nationally, and we're gonna see it so we can talk about it next week. I'm really excited about that one.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
am interested very much.
Yeah. Well, Robbie alerted me that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees for 2026 have been announced. Kristen and I did a segment about this when they first announced all of the potential nominees. Now they've whittled it down, and they have 18 this year, Robbie. I think it's the largest number of inductees in 40. And the CEO of the organization that runs the whole thing said, we're doing 18 this year because we have some catching up to do. We got to get more people into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I guess that makes sense. I think that's fair. But what I was surprised about was not who made it, but who didn't make it. I don't know if you felt the same way. So here are the big names. Now, there's lots of other names, and I'm not going into all the other people. I'm just talking about the performers today. So we've got Phil Collins, Billy Idol, Iron Maiden, who have already said they won't be there because they already have a concert scheduled for that day. Joy Division, New Order, Oasis. I can't say this woman's name. Apparently it's not Sadie.
Sade.
Luther Vandross, and Wu-Tang Clan. So those are the 8 big names that made it. But they left out the Black Crowes, Mariah Carey, Melissa Etheridge, Lauryn Hill, In Excess, New Edition, Pink, and Shakira. So I don't know how you feel about that, but I don't know why you put in someone like, I don't know, Sade
I do
and
have
leave
a lot
out
to
Pink.
say. Well, I have a lot to say about this. And you know what? Every year when this happens, I have a lot to say. I'm very opinionated, especially when it comes to music. And I don't mind that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has opened it up to other genres of music other than rock. I'm over that. So welcome everybody to it. It should just be called the Music Hall of Fame, honestly. But the one that I think is actually a snub, which is going to sound weird, I think In Excess is the biggest snub here. They've been out for a while. They have some epic hits, and I feel like if you've been around for a long time, you should be over somebody else who hasn't been in the game as long. Like Shakira, love Shakira. It's kind of too early for her. So Pink as well. I love Pink. She has some more years, I think, before she can just get in there. New Edition. I mean, moving on. Lauryn Hill, she had one album, like 20 years ago, maybe 30 years ago. It was 1998. Almost 30 years ago. She really hasn't done anything since then. People lose their shit over Lauryn Hill, and I just don't get it. Yeah, that album was awesome. She was in the Fugees. That was great. But then what has she done since then? I feel like somebody who is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame needs to have a consistent output. And just because you have one great album, no, she doesn't need to be in. Maybe down the road if they run out of people. But Melissa Etheridge,
They'll never run out of people.
I'm okay with her not getting in just yet. Mariah Carey, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I think there needs to be different categories because Mariah Carey certainly is up there as one of the pop divas of our time. But Melissa Etheridge, I don't really think of Melissa Etheridge as a rocker, but whatever.
Well, for me, I know like 3 hits that she did in the 90s because I was paying attention really hard then. And it was like, I want to come to my window. Yeah. And there was another one, I forget the name of it, but see, there's 3 that I know of. So it's like,
right.
When it comes to someone like Phil Collins, you're like, yeah, that's a given. He's number 1 on the list. Billy Idol,
Absolutely.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, go back to Mariah Carey. No beef with Mariah Carey here. She should get in. This just wasn't her year.
Yeah. I'm sure she doesn't give a shit anyway.
I was really glad to see Joy Division and New Order in there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to go by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I just said that I was like not hung up on that just being rock, but Iron Maiden is probably like the one if it was going to be right.
Exactly.
And Sade, I mean, I don't know anyone who dislikes Sade, but she's almost like, and actually I think Sade is a band, not just one person, but it's more like adult contemporary soft rock kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, I know of 2 Sade songs.
Right.
So I don't know if that makes me, but I mean, how many Sade songs do people know? I mean, everyone knows Smooth Operator, and then there's The Sweetest Taboo.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this because I had a conversation with Kristen about this when this list came out. And I said to her, she's a one-hit wonder. And then Kristen lists 7 songs. So,
well, she did have that comeback album like 20 years ago or something. I mean, she's good, but I mean, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is kind of prestigious, but I'm glad she's in. But that's the one that's like, when you look at this list of 8, I think that's the odd one out.
I agree. All right. Well, if you guys are interested in watching the ceremony, it's always a fun show. It's going to be on Disney Plus. So you got to get your Disney Plus subscription. by November 14th, because that's when it's happening in Los Angeles. I don't know why they keep doing it in LA. Maybe that's because it's easier for most of the entertainers to be there. But, the museum itself's in Cleveland. So I'm not sure why they can't do it in Cleveland where the museum is.
Well, the weather sucks in Cleveland in November.
Well, then don't do it in November. There's lots of things that they have the power to change, Like, why did they put the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland? Because
As when you're in Cleveland, you have to have something.
and as Drew Carey says, Cleveland rocks, right? I think that's why they put it there. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not.
We should look into that. After the show ends, I'm looking into it.
Yeah.
Somebody lobbied hard to get it in Cleveland. We're like, we don't have anything. We need this.
I've been there. It's really cool. And it's worth going to for sure. If you ever get a chance. If you ever find yourself in Cleveland, you should check it out. All right. I'm done with that.
So there was a funny story that we saw, and it has to do with the names in the United States, like the name registry and the most common names in the United States, right? So it was kind of a fun list because they break it down between male and female names, like how many people in the United States have a certain name that's male and how
Right.
many have that name that's female.
Right.
I'll get into that in a minute because I had some fun with that. But like the number one name in the US, like this is how many people are named this in the country right now. Scott, what do you think it is?
Well, I know because it's right in front of me, but let me guess. Could it be Michael?
Yes, Michael. And both of our names is Robert, and we are number 5 on the list.
We are number 5. I think that's pretty cool.
And there are many variations you can do with that name. You can go by Robert, Rob, Robbie, Bobby, or you could just go by your first initial and middle name like Scott does.
Like I do. I go by Scott.
Now, the rest of the top, so it was Michael, John, James, David, Robert. Funny, my brother's name is David, so we're both there.
Number 4 and 5.
Mary, William and Mary, Maria, Daniel, and Joseph. That's the top 10.
Top 10.
Now, the thing I thought was funny was when you look at this list, it, like I said, it has the male and female, how many people. There are 828 females named Gary. Who is naming their daughter Gary?
Gary. I love that.
There are also 598 females named Ronald.
No.
What on earth?
Right. We should point out these are the top 1,000 first names.
First names, yes.
Right.
Not middle names.
Right.
Last name, first name. See, voluntarily named their daughter Ronald. And so then on the other side of the coin, we have 718 males named Barbara, 2,840 males named Mary. And I'm not talking about the nickname you call your gay friend. Mary, officially on the register, 2,840 males out there waking up like every day wanting to kick themselves in the ass for that.
It's really funny.
Then you have 644 males named Nancy.
Oh, that's weird.
I want to have some conversations with the parents.
Yes, exactly.
If you're a male and your name is Nancy, Mary, or Barbara, please call in. We'd like to hear from you.
We would love to hear from you. Now, this comes from the U.S. Census Bureau, so they know what they're talking about.
Do they?
Well, apparently.
Well, I'm just pleased as punch that my name is in the top 10.
Do
I think that name will be in the top 10 100 years from now? No, I don't.
It does change. It changes a lot, right?
If you want to have some fun, go check out like the top names for babies being born certain years. You'll see how things change over time. How the more traditional names are definitely phased out now. You have a bunch of Hunters and Jacobs and
Dorit.
But the funny thing is that a lot of old lady names are coming back for girls.
Yeah,
you got Emily and Sophia and I don't know.
Right.
Interesting. I don't know. I'm glad I don't have to worry about naming a child because I will never have one.
You just have to name your cats. That's all. That's all you get to do. Well, I love this. Dale and Kristen are former co-hosts on this show. Dale came in at 296 and Kristen came in at 342.
Well, at least they still made it.
They made it. Guess who didn't make it? 2 of our very loyal listeners, Melissa, you're not on the list. Marcy, not on the list. And Alexandra, you are on the list. You came in at number 245.
I wonder if Madonna's on the list.
She is not. She is not. I checked. If you guys want to check for your name or if you want to see what ranking you are, I'm going to put what is it? It's basically it has a box and you put your name in and it'll pop up. Yeah. So I'll put that on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't have to do a search because it was right there.
I know. Perfect. Right on the very first page. So, Robbie, is personal responsibility dead in America? We'll tell you what we think about that right after this.
This, my friends, is the Swish Edition. And now for something completely different.
All right. I can't believe this, especially since this woman's a nurse. A 45-year-old California nurse has sued Carnival Cruise Line because she got overserved on a recent cruise, fell down, and got a concussion. In the course of 8 hours, she did 14 shots of tequila. Now, Carnival has been limiting passengers for several years now to 15 alcoholic drinks a day. And they did that after a male passenger sued them several years ago when he was served 33 drinks in under 12 hours.
Wow. I think I know that guy.
That's a lot of drinks. I can't even drink that much.
No.
So she sues the damn cruise line and won. She won $300,000 because she got herself inebriated.
She got drunk off her ass.
Yeah.
For all you people that don't know what that means.
And she blamed the cruise line the bartenders on the ship for overserving her. It's just, I think it's bullshit. Carnival's already said they're going to appeal this decision because it's ridiculous. I mean, and here's the question that I've asked many times over the years on this show. Where is the personal responsibility and being responsible for your own self? Everyone always wants to blame someone else for something that happens to them or a problem that has happened in their life. And I'm over it.
Well, I think the issue here is the issue of over-serving versus personal responsibility. Because
they go hand in hand.
Have you ever had a mixologist license, or not even a license, but have you ever gone and taken the test to get like a server's permit to serve alcohol?
I don't know that I never did that. I've been a waiter though. I served alcohol all the time. I didn't have a permit for that.
So maybe that was so long ago you didn't have to get a permit for it.
In the Stone Ages.
But since, CJ, my partner's in the wine business, sometimes I help out. I have to get a permit in order to pour. I have a permit for the state of Washington and the state of Oregon. And to get a permit, you have to take a class. They do it online. It's online, but it takes hours. And you have to go through all of these things, very, very detailed.
To learn
specific scenarios on responsibilities of pouring is a lot of it. And this is a prime example of that. You're supposed to look out for people that have exhibit levels of intoxication. You're supposed to not serve someone who was over the limit or that you perceive to be over the limit. So honestly, yes, personal responsibility always. I mean, but also I didn't used to think this way until I took all these classes that yes, in order for those servers to have gotten that job, they would have taken this kind of test for whatever state that they got it from. And they knew that they were not supposed to be over serving someone. You can kind of tell when it shouldn't be served anymore. And you do have a responsibility to not serve that person.
You can, but have you ever been on a cruise?
No.
Well, there you go. They're in.
Is it a free for all?
No, but they're in international waters for one. So I seriously doubt these people have permits of any kind. And two, you're dealing with thousands and thousands of people in a very fast-paced environment. I don't think a bartender at a bar on a cruise ship has ever looked me up and down to make sure I was okay.
Well, they're supposed to observe things, and
yes.
I mean, there's all these signs,
and I'm sure they do cut. I'm sure they cut people off all the time. And
this person did 14 shots of tequila. I'm guessing they weren't back to back, but
right.
How many shots are in a bottle? Did she drink a whole bottle of tequila?
Well, there's 15, 20 different bars on a cruise ship. So she
also here's the thing.
She could have moved from bar to bar,
If you're on an all-inclusive cruise, which includes food and alcohol, most people feel like I want to get my money's worth. So they're going to drink themselves silly.
Of course.
And people think they're having a good time. They're on vacation. Normal rules
Yeah.
shouldn't apply. But no, I mean, here we go. We'll see what happens in the appeals court, but I'm sure that this is going to come up where they want to talk to one of the people that served them at least, because I mean, you can't drive home on a cruise ship. That's not the issue here, drunk driving, but that's a major issue on land. You see it a lot. Somebody drinks too much in a bar, they get behind the wheel, they drive, they kill somebody, crash into something, and then the bar gets blamed. And then the bar can get its license taken away for that if they are found liable over serving someone.
I know all of the stuff, and I agree that all of those things exist. I just don't think that you should be responsible for your own alcohol consumption and decision to get in a car and kill someone, not Joe, the friendly bartender at the bar you were just spending time at. I mean, yes, Joe should cut him off at some point. And yes, I've had bartenders at some of my favorite places make sure that I did not drive home. So there are good ones out there. But I think taking a license away from a bar because they overserved someone and then they killed someone, I just don't think that's fair. That's how I think.
I mean, it's very blurry. It's
I know.
not
The slippery
like, no pun
slope,
intended.
right?
It's like, it's not black and white. I mean, yes, sometimes it does seem ridiculous that some bar can get shut down or sued out of existence because of something that somebody else did. You got to meet in the middle somehow. And I don't know. It's hard. Don't overdrink on a cruise or anywhere else. Know your limits. If you want to overdrink, do it at home on your couch.
Exactly. All right. You want to do the next one?
So moving on from someone who overdrank to someone who overspent. So this is another bad actor from California. This guy, okay, you know how expensive some of these Lego sets can be? Like the really like nice ones.
The elaborate ones.
Yeah, this guy was going into Target, buying really nice Lego sets. You know, have you ever taken a Lego box and just sort of shaking it a little bit? You can hear it sounds like somebody broke a vase into 1,000 pieces. He would buy the Lego set and then he would return it. But before he returned it for his money back, he would take out all the Lego pieces and carefully replace them with dry pasta. I guess he totally did the scientific experiment that dried pasta sounds the most like Lego pieces knocking around together. I don't know if that's true or not, or if the people getting the return, you know, you got to be really careful when you open a box and seal it properly, you know, for proof, whatever. But these people probably didn't care that worked at the returns. They just threw it in the back. They heard pieces. Anyway, he got his money back. He did this 70 times at different Targets. Was it all over the country or a couple of states? I don't know. He did it in a lot of places.
I thought it was all in the same damn store.
I don't think it was in the same store. I feel like when I read it, it was different places.
But 70 times.
So he racked up $34,000 in returns. And I mean, somebody's got to be flagging this. Like, how many times you got to return like not even if it was the same person, but just generally tracking your stuff. Wow, we're getting a lot of returns for Legos. What's going on? But he was charged with grand theft. I mean, he should have stopped at like 30,000. You could have stopped there. But
I wonder how I don't know how they finally caught on to him. That's what
That's a good question. See, somebody in there is really good, and they had this whole department probably tracking him, right? I bet they're going to make a whole Netflix reality series about it. I'm sure. Mark my words.
Yeah, I'm picturing a kid getting one of these really great sets, like the Harry Potter world or whatever, for his birthday, and he goes and opens the box, and it's only filled with dried pasta.
So that's the other part of the story that I was not sure on. Were they putting these back on the shelf and people were buying them and realizing it's pasta?
Why wouldn't they put them back on the shelf?
Well, here's what you could do then. Then there's another scam artist out there that hears about this story. They're going to fill the Lego box with pasta and say, hey, I bought this at this store and it was filled with pasta.
Exactly. Now that would be genius,
right? That's called the sequel. It's a spinoff.
Maybe you need to become a full-time thief.
Man,
you got to figure it out.
This is like thief meets grifter. This guy is way too creative to be stealing stuff. He needs to put this to something a little bit more productive. I like the creativity, but you're going down.
Absolutely. Well, I bet. Can you go to jail for something like that? I don't know. Maybe you should. I guess
you can go to jail for anything. You can go to jail for wearing red shoes on a Thursday.
You can go to
That's a
jail if
that's
you're. Wait, is that a
that's a quote
something?
from Grey Gardens, Little Edie.
He knows a lot more of that kind of stuff than I do, so that's why we keep him around. Hey, last week we talked about a couple of the Las Vegas speakeasies that we've been to, but how about this new one? I think this is kind of up your alley, Robbie. It's called the Serial Killer Speakeasy, and it's on the road. I didn't realize this. It's on the road, and it's traveling literally all over the country. The next one is this April tomorrow, and tomorrow and Friday in Bound Brook, New Jersey, Tyler, Texas, and Clearwater, Florida. So they're in multiple locations at the same time. And then they're coming here to Las Vegas, May 29th and 30th. I checked, Robbie, there's no Walla Walla one. So you're just going to have to
Darn.
come. You're just going to have to come to Vegas. Or check out one of the many other cities they're going to. So they're basically what this is a true crime cocktail experience where 4 infamous stories will be told, will unfold around you while you're having your custom cocktails. And it'll be all the stories are through the eyes of the killers themselves. And we're talking about real ones. We're talking about Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, who's the scariest one of all, I think, John Wayne Gacy, and Ed Gein. Ed Gein. Do you know that one? I never heard.
That's a hard last name. No, Ed Gein. He's the one
Gein.
that there was that story Netflix did about him last year.
Okay.
It was either earlier this year or last year. Yeah, he's
the one that dressed up as a clown and killed
No,
kids?
that was okay. John Wayne Gacy. Ed Gein was the one who was in like Wisconsin or somewhere in the middle of the country, and he had a farmhouse. Ed Gein is important in the serial killer lore because he inspired Psycho, the book and movie Psycho, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Silence of the Lambs. So,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, yes, his crimes were notorious, and it was back in the 40s when people didn't know about people doing crazy stuff like this. He's not the first serial killer because there was a serial killer at the State Fair in Chicago sometime in the Holmes, H.H. Holmes, I think was the name. Look it up. I'm not 100%, but he's listed as the first serial killer. And then, of course, there's Jack the Ripper. And then not until we get to Ed Gein is there one that held public consciousness as much. But I can't believe you didn't see that show. For some reason, I can't think of the name of the actor that played him, but
no, because
it was all the rage for like a good month.
No, because I don't watch shows like that. I don't.
Laurie Metcalf played his mother. And I know you love Laurie Metcalf.
I love her. Does not mean I've seen her in everything. I don't like disturbing things, and I don't like to be disturbed. So if it's disturbing, I will not watch it.
And this was disturbing, even for me.
And I'm sure this serial killer speakeasy experience is disturbing, and I don't know why anyone would do it, except that I know there's tons and tons of true crime lovers out there. So maybe it's right up a lot of people's alley, just not mine.
I talked about this with my cousin Christina, and it is coming to Philadelphia, and that's the area where she lives, and she's going to see it. So when she goes, I'll get the scoop from her, and then we can update everyone about it.
Let's absolutely do that. All right. We have to change subjects now because I need something happy. Tell me something happy.
Well, does Martha Stewart make you happy, Seth?
Sure.
So there's a biopic coming out in the works where Cate Blanchett is going to play Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
Do you think that works?
I can't see it, but
I don't see it either.
But Cate Blanchett is very, very professional, and she could pull it off. She did a great.
She's played, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, she's played other people. You know, she played Katharine Hepburn in The Aviator in 2004, and she played Queen Elizabeth I in Elizabeth. And didn't she follow that up with another one after that, I think. But I like Cate Blanchett. I think she's beautiful, but I don't know how she's going to pull off this Martha Stewart thing, but we'll see. So she's also a producer on the film, and the director of the movie Zola is going to direct it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Now, of course, this has been done a couple of times on TV, but Sybil Shepherd played her once on TV. Remember that?
Remember that. It was called Martha Inc., and it was this campy TV movie. I savored every minute of that.
Yeah.
She was basically really playing her like she was Mommy Dearest.
Yeah. Well,
it was insane.
Which she's not. I don't know her very well, but I've met her several times. And, you know, I don't know if you know this, but my sister has worked for her for well over 20 years. So
does she still work for her now?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Are we
they
allowed to talk about this?
yeah, it's not a secret. My sister discusses it, I'm sure. Yeah, so she's a very, very nice person, and she actually does all the stuff that she says that she does. She actually does cook, and she actually does work in the garden, and she actually does all of the shit that she
I mean,
does.
I am a Martha Stewart fan. I think she's amazing. I love the fact that she has that notorious reputation of being difficult. I love difficult women.
But she's not. So I don't know.
Well,
We don't know where that came from.
I don't either, but that movie that Sybil Shepherd played her in,
Yeah.
that's all they portray her as, is like this difficult woman. There's this epic scene where she's in a Kmart with going through all the sheets. It's really, if you want a fun night in with some popcorn and
Yeah.
just want to laugh, watch
Yeah.
Martha Inc.
I've seen it. I loved it. And she is a perfectionist, so maybe that comes off, and she knows exactly what she wants, and she gets exactly what she
I think
wants.
that is where this comes from,
Yeah.
because you know how society is. A woman cannot be a perfectionist without being called a bitch.
Right.
And men can do all of that and not get criticized at all. So
Yeah. No, it's true.
and I don't agree with that at all. Like, I think women can do whatever a man can do and maybe better. And if you're called difficult, then I love you even more for that.
You're so funny.
That's my stance on that.
Well, when I found out about this, I asked my sister, I said, "Do you think you're going to be in it? And who's going to play you?"
Anne Hathaway.
Yeah. I suggested Kim Kardashian just to piss her off.
Huh, at least you didn't say Lena Dunham.
I was going to say Rachel Dratch, but then I thought she'd get mad at me. So
Whoa, yeah, I'm mad at you for that now. And I don't even know your sister.
Anyway, we don't know when that's going into production, but I'm excited to see it eventually.
In other movie news, a trailer just dropped for Focker in Law, which is one of the sequels. Is it the fourth sequel to Meet the Fockers? Or actually, it was called Meet the Parents first. But way back in 2000, it was called Meet the Parents with Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro. Didn't Barbara Streisand? She was in the sequel.
She was in the second one.
Meet the Fockers
with Dustin Hoffman.
Barbara Streisand, Dustin Hoffman, and one of my unsung favorite actresses, Alana Eubank.
I love her so much.
Alana Eubank, and we'll have to talk about her in a future show about
She's
her,
been
because
in everything.
she's been in a lot of stuff, and she's always an afterthought, but she's always been at the forefront of my mind. But now we have a movie called Little Focker. No, Little Fockers came out 2010. Now we have another one called Focker in Law. This play on words is getting too much for me. I don't know. How do you feel about this, Scott?
It's their last name.
Are you going to go see this movie?
Yes, I can't wait. I love the Focker movies.
God, the only one I've ever watched was Meet the Parents in the theater when it first came out, and it was okay. But even Barbara Streisand couldn't get me to come see that second one.
Barbara Streisand was so good in that movie, and it was so unlike any character she's ever played before. It was really, she was a sex teacher, like a sex therapist. Yeah, it was very interesting. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. Promise me you'll watch it.
Then that means I have to watch all these other ones first.
You don't. Meet the Fockers is you already said you saw number one. Meet the Fockers is number two.
Yeah.
So she's number two.
Fine. All right. I'll try to do that. I'll try.
But you didn't even do the punchline yet. Who's the big person in this movie?
Yeah, I was waiting. I was keeping people, holding them in anticipation. Ariana Grande is in this movie. And so Greg Focker's son, Henry, played by Skylar Gisondo, brings home his girlfriend, played by Ariana Grande. She's a trained FBI hostage negotiator. Okay.
Hard to believe.
And Greg is worried because Henry wants to marry her. Now, I know Ariana Grande has been in a lot of movies. Do you think you could see her as an FBI hostage negotiator?
No.
I feel like it'll be funny. I feel like that part will be really funny.
I think it's going to be really funny. Yeah.
But let's see. This is who we got. We got Ben Stiller coming back. We got Robert De Niro coming back. Terry Polo, Blythe Danner.
I love Blythe Danner so much.
That's Gwyneth Paltrow's mother, for people that didn't know that. And then we have Owen Wilson. Yeah, so...
Yeah, Owen Wilson does not need to be in the movie. His character is just fucking annoying. But I love everybody else. Love them to death. And I'm glad that the whole gang is back together. I think that's fun.
Well, we will have to follow up when the movie comes out and Scott goes to see it.
Maybe it'll be one of your secret movies.
You know, and I never walk out of a film. I will never walk out of a movie, no
Yeah.
matter how bad it is. In the theater, at home, I'll
Yeah.
stop it. But in a theater, I'm
Sure.
sticking to the end.
Right. Which is what I did
So
when you sent me.
to the drama.
Yeah.
Well, so you mentioned the secret movie series. So
Yeah.
Cinemark Theaters does this thing usually once a month or whenever they want. There's really no rhyme or reason sometimes. It's usually on a Monday night. They do a secret movie series. All they tell you is what the rating is. If it's PG, R, G, and then you pay $5. It's only $5 to go to the cinema, and you sit there and you don't know what movie you're getting yourself into. You won't know until the screen rolls and the credits pop up. I did this last week with a movie called, well, I didn't know what the movie was. I went in with a friend of mine. We were like, whatever. And it turned out to be, I thought it was going to be The Mummy, this new Mummy movie out. And the trailer gives me the heebie-jeebies. Not in a good way either. It's just icky. But I was like, God, I'm glad it wasn't that. It was a movie called Normal, starring Bob Odenkirk from Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. And so he plays an everyman. He is an interim sheriff in this small podunk town in, I think it was Minnesota, in the middle of winter. So it's kind of bleak. The city is like nothing going on. He's like, this is an easy job, but it's not so easy. There's some crazy stuff that happens. And I mean, I thought it was fun. I was glad it was that and not something terrible. I mean, could it have just been on streaming? I think maybe so, but
Is it action movie or a comedy?
it is an action. It is an action with comedy. Yeah, it's an action comedy.
Yeah. Well, and if you've seen Nobody and Nobody 2, then you know what this is like because it's very similar to those movies.
Yeah, and so with a secret movie series is normally a movie coming out in the future. It's going to be a movie that is going to be playing in the theater, maybe like the next week or 2 weeks. So that's sort of the only hint that I had. It was like coming up. So, and then it was just released last week in theaters. Yeah.
Well, did you like it?
I did. I thought it was quirky.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fun movie to watch, not too much thinking involved. There's some funny things that do happen. If somebody said that they wanted to watch it again, I would watch it at home again. And
Well,
I mean,
I like
Bob Odenkirk's turning into this kind of anti leading man. Like people kind of like seeing somebody that's not your typical leading man. He acts kind of very subdued in this movie. I don't think his pulse goes over like Katie. It's
Yeah.
like even in the most extreme situations, he's like always cool as a cucumber. Yeah.
Well,
I
love
think you
him.
and Dale can watch it.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved Nobody and Nobody 2, and it's written by the same guy, so it has a lot of the same sensibilities, I'm sure.
Well,
So
you were
I'll
supposed to
definitely.
see it, but you didn't see it.
I just couldn't get my shit together on Monday. Sorry, couldn't get
Well,
it done.
I'm going to another secret movie series this week, so I'll tell you what
Yeah.
that was.
I know it's already happened, but we can't talk about it since we taped this on Monday. That's pretty funny. Well, all right. Finally, this week, I got one more movie thing to talk about. And this one, we have to wait almost an entire year before we can watch it. Have you heard about this? It's called Slay Day. It's going to hit 1,000 theaters next President's Day weekend. That's February of next year. It's already in the can, so I'm not sure why they're sitting on it for so long. But here's what might be the reason, because there's some technology involved with this one. There's 8,000 possible iterations of this movie based on the moviegoers' vote live in the theater on their smartphones. So it's basically like a create your own adventure book, but at a movie. And it's a horror movie, which I know you like. So do you think you'd like this?
Yes, I definitely would be interested in this. Yes.
So apparently, here's what it's about. So there's 6 kids that are going to a Sadie Hawkins dance, I guess at their high school. And Sadie Hawkins herself comes back to life 50 years after she dies. And I bet she kills a lot of people. And she probably kills everyone, right? But you decide what you're actually going to see in the movie that you're watching. So apparently, you're going to get asked 50 times during the movie to make a choice. So I guess you're going to make sure your battery.
So they want you to be on your
charged.
phone in this case in the theater.
So the technology they're using for this it's called control movie technology to transform the experience in your interactive event. I don't know how they do it, but it must happen really fast because you're not going to sit around waiting for them to load something else into the projector.
That's
So
kind of crazy.
must be all computerized, right? Yeah. So there's literally 8,000 different ways the movie can play out based on how the people in the room vote. Now, what I thought about this when I was thinking about it is I don't want popular vote movie. I want to watch it by myself at home. So I decide exactly what's going to happen in the movie, right?
Well, how would that work though? How would that work?
How does anything work? I don't know. It's a computer. Computers are real smart nowadays.
Well, like,
So
okay, with your phone, but like, there was that movie, the Black Mirror movie that came out like, I don't know, 5 years ago. Do you remember that? Where you could pick what's going to happen, but you did it with your remote control. I forget
right.
what it was called. It was a weird name,
Okay, so
Bandersnatch or
it's
something.
yeah, so it's
Bandersnatch.
similar to that.
Yeah, and it's like, do you want this person to do this or that? And then you pick, but then you could go through all the avenues and watch it all. But this has 1,000 different scenarios.
8,000.
That's crazy. And like, you're going to have to sync up the movie with your phone or something. This is some new technology.
No, I don't know about that. I think what they're going to do when they release it at home, they're going to release it on gaming consoles like PlayStation and Xbox, and also probably virtual reality headsets that you can wear. And you'll make the decision somehow using the buttons.
That's how they'll do it, through the video game system.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking you could stream it. And I'm like, how are they going to be able to do that if you're just streaming the film?
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to stream it. No, it wouldn't work. That wouldn't work. They could never show it on TV. I mean, they could show it on HBO, but it would have to be, just one version of the movie.
Well, it's
right?
like, I mean, we've come a long way from Clue. Remember when Clue came out in the theaters? There were 3 different endings. You didn't know which one you were going to get. Well, now we have 8,000 different scenarios, and it's going to be playing in 1,000 theaters. I hope it comes to Walla Walla.
I know, right? I definitely want to see this one. I think I want to see how it works, and I want to see how
it's called Slay Day.
Slay Day. Well, we'll definitely talk about it in season 17 of the Swish Edition.
When it says here that it uses something called control movie technology.
Yeah, I said that part.
I'm looking that up to see how that
paying
works.
attention to me. Yeah, you should. And report back. All right. You've got a movie to go to, and I have to make dinner. Go out there and hug a tree, everybody, and enjoy your Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day.
Bye, Robbie.
Bye.
The Swish Edition is a production of Bethwick Media, LLC. Learn more about the show at swishedition.com. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast app or site. But only if you like us.
Sissy Boy Slap Party. That is my new trivia team name. Sissy Boy Slap Party.
It's really funny. It's really, really funny.
I'm so glad John Waters introduced me to that.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing came out in 2004. We are so behind.
I know, right?
But like, how many people knew about that, really?
Not me.
Not me either.
I put this show together. All right. I have to pee like a motherfucker, so
Me
I'm gonna
too.
go.